Thank you, Brian. It's great to be here. My name is Dan Martin. I lead the publishing-facing business for TripleLift. And in preparation for today, I thought it would be fun to share our founding story. Founding stories, I believe, reveal a company's DNA and help to shed some perspective relative to what drives us as a company on our mission on a daily basis. And it's an interesting story, one I think you'll appreciate, and will definitely shed some light into what we're thinking about when we work with our publishing partners. So TripleLift, our three founders were originally from a company called AppNexus back in the early days. And for those of you that may not be familiar with AppNexus is one of the leading programmatic buying and selling platforms on the web. And of the three founders, two of them were the actual technical architects of the AppNexus platform itself. The third founder was the head of sales. And back in 2011, it was around the first quarter, the head of sales, Ari, gets a call from his #1 retail client. And she says, I need to speak to you right away. We need to review the Q4 numbers. And Ari says, sure, what's up? And she says, last quarter, 7% of all of my sales came from one destination on the web. And he says, wow, that's impressive. How much did you spend with them? She says, I didn't spend anything. Well, in Ari's mind, he's thinking, my client spends hundreds of thousands of dollars with me a month, millions last quarter, driving 2 to 3% of this client's sales. Something must be up. And she says, can I show you this site? You have to see this site. He says, absolutely. I have my browser up. What's the name of the site? And the site was Pinterest. He pulls up Pinterest. Here's this beautifully, visually designed destination with all of these wonderful products to discover. And light bulb moment goes off, founding moment in Ari's mind. Here he is with access to the most intelligent rocket scientists in the world optimizing his client's media spend. And he's eking out 2 to 3% at best for his client. And this site comes along with this visual design and blows it out of the water for nothing. Something's awry. And so he thought, well, what are the constants here? The constants are that programmatic advertising is without question efficient for marketers. It's a lot easier, it's less manual, we know the value prop. The challenge and the opportunity was on the front end of this equation, meaning what's actually being delivered that isn't resonating with consumers. Spoiler alert, it's not the banner. So Ari took the two smartest people he knew at the company, Eric and Sean, the technical founders, and TripleLift was born on our mission to improve this equation. We're in the midst of a fundamental change with how we consume information on the web, in that the web is effectively undergoing a redesign, in that text is being substituted for images. Hearst, Time, Condé Nast. I'm sure every one of you in this room, in one way, shape, or form, have undergone a redesign in the last 24 months that's highly visual, maybe undergoing it now, to become highly visual. The social networks that we enjoy, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, 140 characters of text, make room for images. Here comes the video in your feed. Snapchat, same thing, all image driven. So the question's why? Why are images leading the way? And the answer is that images emit emotion. Images tell stories. So then the question becomes, well, how? How, if you're an advertiser in this new visual dynamic, do you engage with consumers that are ignoring banners and actually achieve your objectives? Well, the answer is some advertisers have become publishers themselves. For instance, Purina Nestle actually produces around 1,500 pieces of content a day across Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Another good example is Lowe's, is a major retailer back in the US, home improvement destination, that has the most popular website for do-it-yourself improvement on the web using highly visual content. So now the question is, how do you, the publisher, engage your audience in this new world order of the visual web? Well, we've built the technology at TripleLift, and I'm excited to share a little bit about how we work with publishers to unlock this value. So we work with publishers in two ways. Number one, we enable you to customize the look and feel of how advertising is actually delivered with your environment. Why should you be handcuffed by a 300 by 250 or 300 by 600 standard in a world that is simply either ignoring them, maybe ad blocking them? It's just not a complementary experience for a user, and there's an absolute better way. So what we've actually enabled is the opportunity for publishers to enable your sales force to beautifully integrate your advertisers' content into your experience. And we unlock this using three assets: an image, caption, and a link. And we'll speak a little bit more about why those assets are important later on. But in terms of those three assets, scaling them across custom placements is very difficult to do. As publishers, what we found in the US is that scaling one image across multiple custom shapes and sizes is very difficult to do. The challenge is cropping. It's very difficult to crop an image with someone's head without cutting it off if it's actually a short height, or losing the automobile when it's a narrow image. And what we've created at TripleLift is that our platform is powered by a very powerful technology called computer vision, which enables one image to identify the focal point and the edge points of that image itself, and then dynamically crop over the multiple custom placements that you've created to render the most beautiful version of that image across devices. So that's number one, is that we're actually enabling publishers to customize the advertising experience and then deliver it at scale for their advertisers. So that's number one. Number two, we're unlocking incremental material revenue through our programmatic exchange. What does that mean? Well, we are the only company that is currently integrated with every major DSP and agency trade desk on the market. So you as the publisher could call AppNexus, call MediaMath, Turn, and unlock their brand's advertising into your beautifully integrated custom placements that are blowing away the performance of your banners. And your consumers and your audience are actually enjoying the experience. Now about those assets. You have an image, caption, and a link. This currency is the future currency of how the majority of advertising is going to be built going forward. Why? Because you think about the most powerful native advertising supply on the planet, and it's a little site called Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They're all powered in their advertising by an image, caption, and a link. So think about the value that you could provide a brand if you could beautifully integrate the assets that they're already using into your custom experience. Paint your own canvas, and your audience will thank you. We work with 500 publishers across 1,000 sites in the US to power this exchange, and we work with some of the largest brands in the world, Viacom, XO Group, and The Atlantic, to name a few, that are leveraging our ad-serving technology. So in this new world order of the visual web, how do you, the publisher, create inspiring, complementary experiences for your audience? Experiences that unlock value for your advertisers that are custom to your world. Well, we've built the technology at TripleLift. I'm excited to be here and introducing it to you, and love to continue the conversation with you later today. Thank you.